Listen to this verse from James, his letter. This is just his brother writing to some believers, some early Christians a long time ago. He says, just this random verse, James 4:8 says, "Come near to God, and he will come near to you." I was looking at that the other day, thinking about our topic here in our powerful worship experience journey that we're on together. Today, we're going to talk about fasting. We're going to talk about this choice to go without something for a spiritual purpose. And not just because you need to stop, or you need to like change something, but you just want to lean into time with God. You want to draw near to him. What James talks about this verse. It reminds me of this verse just a couple of pages over in Hebrews chapter 11, where the author, we don't know who wrote Hebrews, he is writing or she is writing about these amazing people of faith in what faith did in their life and the things that they experienced. And in verse 6 says this, "And without faith it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him." Come near to God. He will come near to you. Some translations say draw near to God. This passage, the author says, earnestly seek him. We sometimes, and I'm guilty of this often, have this view that I just need to believe in God and like say a prayer and get a baptism certificate or some sort of like VBS award as a kid. And then that's it. Like I'm good. And then life happens, right? And you get to this point sometimes where you go, yeah, I know my security is in Jesus. My eternity is secure, but I don't really feel connected to God. Like I have this situation or this pain or this emptiness that we're not talking about salvation. We're not talking about accepting him, but have you drawn near to him? Have you earnestly sought him? Like any relationship, it can drift apart. It can become stale. You can take him for granted, just like you can a spouse or a parent or a sibling or a child. It takes some effort to keep the relationship connected. And what's amazing about our relationship with God through the work of Jesus, this is not a relationship that requires us to do work to earn it, but it requires us to do work to maximize it, to enjoy it. And unlike our earthly relationships, you could actually really work hard on the relationship you have with your child and it's not reciprocated. And that's so painful. And some of us have those stories, or with a spouse or a friend. But with God, that never happens. And fasting is simply a way that you and I can earnestly seek him. It is, it's effort, and it's sometimes scary, and it just seems like something we're not busy enough for. And the reality is, lots of people will hear this, see it, experience this conversation, and very few of us will actually abstain from something. Very few of us will actually set aside a meal time to spend that time seeking Jesus, drawing near to him, earnestly going after a relationship. Very few of us will stop our social media, besides these powerful worship experiences, of course, right? But, how much time are you death scrolling? I find myself just doing this. Many minutes, maybe sometimes hours more than I ever would want to admit to you. And what if you just spent that time? And you said, I'm not going to do that. I took that off my phone. I'm going to spend time. See, we have work to do if we not want to experience God's salvation, but we have to do work to experience his presence, to understand relationship with him. What besides food keeps you from focusing on Jesus? If you go to the powerful worship experience, in the description, you go to ccf.church/2021. As we're here in this journey, you're going to find a Devo for this day that's going to just lead you towards what is it even? We've been talking about food in our fasting lessons. What is it besides food? Is it your screen? Is it the news? Is it just all the drama, what's happening in the world around us today? Is it an activity, a hobby, a TV program? What is it besides food that gets in the way of you earnestly seeking Jesus? So go there. There's a lesson. We're going to look at these scriptures a little bit more in depth and just challenge you to take some action, to set aside one of those things for just a little bit of time and see what God does. When you draw near, he says he will draw near.